I'm disappointed in enlisted. And the quality may suck here, but I have a capture card. It's just I cannot afford the stress because I'm already almost stressed as it is. With freaking, Home Depot. When I got my work injury, we had a contract before then when I was applied. Long story short, they said they would pay for my work injury. They guaranteed they would, and now they did a 180 and they're trying to force me to pay for it. They're really awful. Also, usually when you work a job and they take a percentage out of your money that you make, that's supposed to go to the medical stuff and other stuff. Even though they took taxes out of me, they still didn't. They still want me to pay for the medical stuff, even though they're supposed to. Anyway, you get the picture. I cannot afford more stress trying to stress for the capture card and other stuff, and trying to find a laptop or get the laptop, whatever. So anyway, so with this, enlisted. Also, quick note: some YouTubers apparently are mad at enlisted players for simply criticizing a new enlisted update. In fact, so one of them was even saying that it's misinformation. Most of my comments are misinformation. Okay, well, what's next? They're Russian propagandists. That's a buzzword at this point. Everyone's a Russian propagandist nowadays, apparently. If that's the case, you know what, guys? If that's the case, this is Russian propaganda. I'm a Russian propagandist. Let's do that. Let's buy into this stuff. Let's have fun with this. So, Russian propaganda time. Russian propaganda number 1. The squads are a freaking mess. And apparently, you can't even freaking choose your campaign anymore. One of the only ways you can is to pick certain squads. Problem is, what squads do I choose to play, like, let's say, Berlin, for instance? Which is actually, Berlin and Normandy are both rare. They're like some of the rarest ones apparently now, with new enlisted to actually be able to play, because it seems like they randomly send you to a map. If anything, they send you to usually the same map, or at least with me and others apparently. And somehow, even though Berlin is rare, I meant Normandy. Somehow, I've been able to play it a lot. I do not, though. I want to play Berlin instead because Berlin's more fun, and I even did Berlin squads. I thought maybe that's the solution. Pick Berlin squads that you play in Berlin, and maybe it'll send me to Berlin because it was saying something to do with the weapons or squads. If you pick certain ones, they'll send you to certain campaigns. But no, it did not work. I was sent to Normandy or Tunisia. Tunisia the most. It is annoying. Now I will say this: this has nothing to do with me being bad at the maps. I've actually been really good at the maps, actually, and I've actually been scoring a whole bunch too. And out of the 50 times I've played this, throughout the entirety of me playing the new update, which has been today, or today, or whatever it is, or last night and today, because I've been awake that long, or sleep schedule sucks. Only like 2 or 3 times out of like 50 times I've lost. The rest of the 50 times I've won constantly in rows. So it has nothing to do with me being bad at maps or anything. The reason why is because I hate playing the maps that they keep forcing me to play. Or if it was at least a variety of maps, that's one thing. I'd be fine with a variety of maps. I would still want to play Berlin for sure. Or if there's at least a way for me to have a higher chance of playing the map I want, or campaign, at least. But no, not even that. Not even a variety. At least with me. I'm just forced to play the same map or campaign over and over again, Tunisia, with exceptions of apparently Normandy. And it's annoying. What happened to be able to play Berlin? I love playing Berlin. It's my favorite map. I have to explain this, by the way. It'll take a couple of seconds. Enlisted players, most of you at least, enlisted players should understand and be fine with me playing Germans in Berlin. But but a lot of people who see this video will probably hate me and think I'm evil, and YouTube would probably think the same. So I have to explain this. The Germans in Berlin and in Germany, when it was being invaded, maybe at least most of them, even the majority of the Waffen SS, or half of it or whatever. So in general, it was mainly just civilians who were conscripted to defend Germany. Civilians who were or even volunteered or conscripted to volunteer to join the German army or Waffen SS, and because the Soviets did awful things. and really awful things, even to other allies. They'd even captured some American soldiers and put them in gulags and released them in like the 50s or 60s or whatever. The Soviets did a lot of awful stuff, okay? So even Patton was warning us about the Soviets being evil and how we should have like fought them and whatnot, and tried to anyway, you get the picture. So the people were good, innocent people, civilians who became soldiers and were defending their land from Soviets who later on, especially the second wave of Soviets, did horrible things to the civilians. So you should understand. Also, they strafed a lot of even non-German refugees and Americans, and American pilots and British did the same thing too. But yeah, so awful people doing awful things. So anyway, you get the point though. So that's why I'm playing Berlin. Or Germany, or Germans in Berlin. Anyway, I like playing Berlin, and they force me not to. Or they force me to play Tunisia constantly. I'm really good at Tunisia, don't get me wrong. I'm actually winning almost every freaking battle in Tunisia. I do not want to play it constantly. I want to play Berlin. Even if I would take losing constantly in Berlin, if it means I can at least play Berlin. I mean, you could even say it's historically accurate, because I would technically, I'd be losing battles, but, that's accurate. But still, I'd rather, even if I were to lose every battle, I would still rather lose every battle, maybe at least win one battle, I don't know, instead of playing Tunisia, where I'm really good at it constantly. It gets tiring and repetitive, and I'm forced to play that. Even just one map of Tunisia constantly, with like giant holes or some crap like that. Russian propaganda number 2. The historical inaccuracy. One of the things that made Enlisted good was the historical accuracy. It made it really good. Now it's inaccurate. Like freaking tanks from different battles and different timelines are now in these battles that they should not even be part of. Anyway, there's a lot more, but I'm tired, doing a lot of stress. I just want to continue playing this and somehow find a way to play Berlin. Because that's one of like the two, that and Normandy is freaking rare to play in general. And I want to play Berlin. And I'll try to find a way to play Berlin. So, may God bless you all, guys.